What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to take a little bit of time to talk about my feelings and thoughts on the future of Deep Rock Galactic as a whole. It's no surprise that this game and entire universe, in fact, have blown up in popularity over the past several years, and so many things have spawned from DRG as a whole, and it has evolved so much in just a short amount of time that it's a little bit mind-boggling for some people to think about what it could possibly turn into even further down the road and what other things we might be able to expect coming out of the entire franchise as a whole. It started off as a fun underground cooperative game that was very, very enjoyable, but now it's sort of similar to like a cult classic where the people who really enjoy it really enjoy it. And there are so many other things out there that are now linked to Deep Rock Galactic, such as other games, musical collaborations, you name it. So in terms of what the future of Deep Rock Galactic may bring, that's kind of what I want to talk a little bit about today. By the way, if you like this kind of video and want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another upload. So first, talking about Deep Rock Galactic itself, the main game, the one that most people obviously know very well, and the kind of future that we might be able to expect from it. Although people have different opinions as to where the game has been going in the past couple of years, I think it's pretty undeniable that the game has evolved significantly since its early years, and it is a lot better and more polished than it was when it first came out. As of recording and making this video, there are 5 seasons that the game has had so far, and every single one of them has brought game-changing additions and features and alterations, some good, some bad, and that only means that we are in store for significantly more changes coming down the line as the game matures and gets even older. There's pretty much a nearly endless number of things that could happen in the future of Deep Rock Galactic. Obviously, they could keep going with the seasonal model as it has been pretty successful so far. This is one of the few titles out there where the seasonal model is completely free, which is a very good thing in today's gaming world, which has its ups and downs, of course, but ultimately I think it is very healthy that a game has a seasonal system like this because it makes it very easy for people to enjoy it because the barrier of entry is so low. And the seasonal changes that we have gotten in the 5 seasons since the game first came out have been pretty good for the most part. We've gotten new mission types, new enemies, new weapons, new gadgets, all very game-changing, really good things that have been added to the game so far, and the future could only mean more things could happen. Obviously, people have wanted a perk rework for a very long time, and I know that that's something that the devs have been looking at, and that's something that we can probably expect within the next couple of seasons, maybe not necessarily the next one, but definitely at some point in time in the future, so that could be a very big game changer. Personally, I would like to see some more upgrade changes and maybe some modification reworks. I would like to see some more options added to things like the body armor and the pickaxe, just to give us a little bit more ways to customize and improve them. But that's not even talking about things like new potential game modes that might come out, or expanding on content that's already in the game, or straight up just new weapons and equipment. That's something that people always like to see just to give us new tools to work with. They could basically go in any way that they want with the future of Deep Rock Galactic itself, and I'm sure we're in store for some seriously big game-altering things to happen in the later seasons. That is, of course, when they have time to work on it, because right now their plate is kind of full with some of the other stuff that they are working on. Which leads me into the next thing that could really spell good things for the future of Deep Rock Galactic, which is the next game in the series, I guess you could call it, which is Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core. Although the game is not out yet as of the making of this video, we do know a good amount of it, and we do know that it's going to shake up the mythology, the lore, the themes and stories of the Deep Rock Galactic universe in a different way. It is a co-op roguelike experience, which is going to be very different than what we have seen in the normal Deep Rock Galactic game, although it is going to have the same sort of style and charm that the current game has, and it's going to do incredible things for the whole universe itself by expanding on the story, opening up new ways for us to express the series, and in terms of gameplay, it's going to make things very different. It's going to give us a big expansion on the lore and give us a whole new avenue that we look at Deep Rock Galactic that we have never seen before. And this could also lead to even more Deep Rock Galactic related titles that Ghost Ship could make in the future. With these 2 titles, we have 2 different ways that we have looked at the Deep Rock Galactic universe, one from a more comedic and somewhat lighthearted kind of way to a more serious and grizzled side of things with the Reclaimers, with the Ramrod, with the burrowing deeper into the core side of things. So who's to say they couldn't give us even more titles that focus on other aspects of the Deep Rock Galactic universe? And who's to say they couldn't be very different than what we have seen before? I know the devs like to kind of keep the story a little bit more vague and open to interpretation in a lot of ways, but I think that maybe a story-rich game could be very useful for the entire universe as a whole. Maybe a more narrative title talking about maybe the story of Carl, or how we first discovered Hoxus to begin with, or the early development of the Deep Rock Galactic company as a whole would be very interesting that I think people would really like to see. Again, none of these things are definite or confirmed or anything like that. I just think it would be very cool ideas to see the universe fully expanded even more, and I think just other titles in the series could potentially help with that. Deep Rock Galactic is getting to the point where people want to know so much regarding the lore and story behind so many different things that I feel like it would really help out both the universe itself and the community to understand a lot more about the kind of world that they're in. And again, Rogue Core is a perfect example of us having a tone shift where we are staying in the same general universe, but having a little bit of a different style or approach to it that is going to give us a whole new view or angle on this entire universe as a whole. And that's not even talking about all of the, I guess, DRG adjacent stuff that has come out recently. Obviously, we have the board game by Mood, which I still haven't gotten my hands on yet, which I really want to, but that takes the series in a completely different route. A physical tabletop representation of the game is a very cool thing to see happen out of a video game like Deep Rock Galactic. And it's had several expansions since its initial iteration, and who's to say it can just expand even more than that? Who's to say we don't get a Rogue Core board game once the game comes out and shows to be pretty popular? There's nothing stopping them from doing something like that, which I really would not be surprised. And they could have that board game be significantly more linear. We have no idea, but it would make a lot of sense. Not to mention Ghost Ship allowing other developers to use their particular title in their own specific ways, and I am of course talking about Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, the top-down auto-shooting bullet hell that is honestly incredibly fun to play, made by Fun Day Games, and this just shows that other people can have a very interesting take on what Deep Rock Galactic is capable of. Is it the exact same as the DRG that we all know and love? No, but that doesn't mean it's any less enjoyable to play, and it shows that you can take the idea and the world that Deep Rock Galactic has created and show it in a different way, or at least allow us to experience it in a different way, and it still be very successful. Again, going back to the narrative story-based game idea, I feel like somebody else could have a very good way to implement that. Or they could go a whole bunch of other different ways. Maybe a Deep Rock Galactic RTS game. Okay, that one might not work out so well, but you get the idea. Somebody should make a mod for that. StarCraft 2 Deep Rock Galactic Edition. And it doesn't even have to necessarily stretch to just video game collaborations or anything like that. I mean, heck, Ghost Ship teamed up with Windrose to make probably one of the biggest banger dwarf metal songs I've ever heard in my entire life. The influence and stretch of Deep Rock Galactic has gone so far to the point where I feel like they could do something like make a movie or an animated series on TV and it would still be perfectly fine and fit into the universe. All in all, there are so many different ways that Deep Rock Galactic can expand, and its future is not set in stone in really any particular way, but I think the fact that the devs are casting such a wide net of Deep Rock Galactic related products and projects that I think the entire universe is going to survive in one way, shape, or form. And I think that the stuff we have on the horizon for Deep Rock Galactic is looking incredibly promising, and this is only going to set the stage for even further things farther on down the line, which we might not even have any idea what is coming. If Rogue Core does very well, as I think it will, I would not be surprised if Ghost Ship decided to announce that they're going to be making yet another product within the Deep Rock Galactic universe. Maybe obviously not instantaneously or not anytime soon shortly after Rogue Core's release, but I definitely would not be surprised if they wanted to keep this particular trend of shifting up the movement of the universe going with a new title that could be completely different than anything else we have seen to date. Nor do I think it would be too crazy to see them give even more development companies access to their IP, so that way more things like Deep Rock Galactic Survivor can come up, and they have the ability to essentially divide up the work amongst multiple different teams, because it is just one team that is working on the majority of the Deep Rock Galactic related products, keep in mind. But with doing what they have done with things like Deep Rock Galactic Survivor with Fun Day Games, it allows for multiple different games to exist within this same sort of continuity and universe without causing too much stress or issues for the development crews overall. And again, this could expand even farther than the video game industry. I want to see Deep Rock Galactic chess, Deep Rock Galactic trivia board games, pretty much anything you could possibly imagine. I feel like it could happen. But in any event, I feel as though the future of Deep Rock Galactic is looking very bright and very promising, as we have a lot of different things that are coming down the pipeline that I think we're going to be eating good within the next few years. And depending on what else Ghost Ship has planned for us, I think it's going to be basically just nothing but ups from that point forward. From rogue core to more stuff with Survivor to advancing things in Deep Rock Galactic itself and potentially other things that they might have planned that we might not even know about, the future of DRG has been nothing but a positive climb, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. But those are my thoughts about the future of Deep Rock Galactic as a whole, and again, I am very, very excited to see what's going to be coming out of this series in the next coming years or however long it's going to take for it to come out. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think is going to come out next? What do you think the future of DRG holds? Do you think that this is going to be something that is going to be ever expanding? Or do you think it's not going to last nearly as long as I'm giving it credit for? Let me know down in the comments. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video informative and entertaining. If you did, please be sure to let me know by hitting that like button and consider becoming a member today, as it really helps out the channel. Rocket Stone Miners, I will see you in the next video.